Hey everyone, this week we started our new series on conflict called Fakers, Breakers, and Makers. Started out this week in Matthew chapter 5, verse 9. Jesus here is speaking. This is the beginning of the Sermon on the Mount, and he's essentially describing the character or the nature of kingdom citizens. And one of the things that he says there in verse 9 is that we should be peacemakers. He said, blessed are the peacemakers. And so just kind of began by talking about, obviously the opposite of that is being a peace breaker, those that are constantly trying to stir up problems, dissension in the church, obviously are peace breakers. And then you have those that are peace fakers, those that just want to kind of pretend that everything is okay, avoid conflict at all cost. And so Jesus, as opposed to those, tells us that we should be peacemakers. And so that's what the series will be about. How do we do that? How do we be peacemakers in a world where there's so much conflict? And so we were in Matthew 5, 21 to 26 then. And the big ideas this week from the sermon are that first of all, God is not just concerned with external conflict, but with anger and bitterness in someone's heart that leads to the conflict. Again, God is after the heart. God is concerned with what's on the inside, not just the outside acts. I think the way that I said it in the message was that God is concerned with who you really are, not just who you appear to be. And so that's kind of a big idea from the beginning. To be a peacemaker means that you are going to be someone who seeks reconciliation when there is conflict, that you're someone that will pursue reconciliation. A big idea from that was that we should be the initiators of reconciliation, even if we're not the ones who have the problem. And then number two was that we should not delay reconciliation, that we should be the ones to handle that and deal with that quickly so it doesn't fester and grow. And then again, Jesus mentions that reconciliation should even come before our worship of Him. So it's obviously a really important thing to God. And then finally, Jesus is our great example for how to do this. Jesus had every reason to not be reconciled to us, and yet He chooses to pursue reconciliation. And so He is our great example for how to do this with others. Some questions this week for your groups. First couple questions, of course, what was most interesting or encouraging to you this week from the sermon? Number two, what was most challenging or raised some further questions for you this week? Question number three, can you describe a time when you personally have seen reconciliation work between two people who were in conflict with one another? So this could be a story from your own life or your own experience, or one that you have witnessed between a couple of other people. Just take some time and talk about that, and then maybe some lessons or what you learned from watching that play out. Question four, have you ever experienced a situation when an attempt at reconciliation did not work? Maybe someone was not open to that. Why do you think it didn't work? And then in light of that, how was it handled, or how did it play out? Question number five, Jesus is pretty clear that reconciliation with our brother or sister should come before even our worship to Him. It may even need to interrupt our worship, according to the text. And so, why do you think that is? Why do you think that is such an important idea to Jesus, that it would even need to come before our worship? Our action step this week was to be the initiator of reconciliation with someone this week. And again, this may be an action step that you don't need to do. Like maybe you're not at a place in your life where you feel like you have a problem or someone has a problem with you, but I know there are people out there that definitely need to take this action step this week. There is someone out there that you need to go to and seek reconciliation with, and so that's the idea. And if you're someone who says, man, this week, by God's grace, that's not an action step I need to pursue, I would say just hold on to it, because pretty soon you probably will, right? And so look to be someone who seeks or pursues reconciliation, all right? Looking forward to the series. I know it's something that I think that we all could honestly use. And so thanks for being a part, and we will see you guys next Sunday.